Hello everyone, welcome to LiQWY. Right now Rachel and I are at Barcelona's airport because today we're going to be flying to Tenerife. This is going to be my first ever time in the Canarian archipelago and therefore I'm quite excited. This is also going to be the beginning of a series of videos that Rachel and I are going to be making in Tenerife. So if you want to see more, stay tuned.
At the beginning of our series of videos that we're going to be making, we're going to be starting in the capital, which is Santa Cruz de Tenerife. And after that, we're going to be showing you lots of other treasures of Tenerife and the Canary Islands to make you wanting to come to that island.
Only if you lived in Europe would know that the Canary Islands is one of the favorite destinations for the Europeans. Why? Because even though they belong to Spain, they are very down south. They are a lot nearer to Africa than to Europe, and therefore they've got a nicer weather than in mainland Europe. On an average, a flight from Spain to the Canary Islands takes only 3 hours. But of course, if you flew from other parts of Europe, it may vary.
The Canary Island archipelago has 7 islands, and we will be visiting the largest island, which is Tenerife.
We really cannot wait to share all our adventures here in Tenerife. Stay tuned! I really want to start our day here at the market, at the main market by the way, which is called Our Lady of Africa, and I really think that if we got here we might find a few things. And by the way, we still haven't had breakfast, so this is a very good spot to start with.
So guys, in the Mercado de Nuestro in Africa, you can find lots of fresh products that come from all over the Canary Islands. This is where Canarians come to buy their fruit, vegetables, cheese, dairy products and everything. And do you know what? You can also come here and have a nice coffee in one of the cafes that are surrounding the plaza.
And apart from the fact I would like to have a nice coffee right now because I need some caffeine, I would like to do something. As you know, these islands are very famous for their platanos, which is basically bananas. So right now, we need to go on a banana hunt. I would like to try an authentic Canarian banana right here. As soon as we got into the heart of the market, we saw so many fruit stalls everywhere and everything looked very fresh and tasty. So guys, we just got to this fruit stall which is called Happiness of the Garden, something like that. And she gave us just this 2 strawberries, one to me and one to Richley, and they are absolutely tasty according to Richley. I would like to try myself. Absolutely tasty. And apparently everything comes from the island, so you must go to this stall when you come to the market.
Do you know, it's so nice to be in the Canary Islands. People are so friendly here and they just have a genuine interest about your life. You know, this lady was talking with us and she wasn't like, oh, I just want you to buy, you know, my fruits. She really was interested in our lives.
If you come in the morning, you can also have breakfast here. This is what we're going to do now.
So right now, something really delicious has caught my eye, which is la tortilla de patata española. I can see it right there. It looks freshly cooked and we're going to try it right now.
Tell you something, this coffee is so tasty, and there is something very peculiar about the flavor that somehow takes me back to my childhood when my grandma would make my coffee. I know, I used to drink coffee as a child, so that's very strange, but my grandma would give me coffee with milk in the mornings, and for some reason I'm getting flashbacks by drinking this coffee. Right now I'm going to have this banana, and I'm going to tell you whether it is tasty or not. So obviously it is from the island, native to the island, and I'm quite happy that I'm finally going to have a Canarian banana in the Canary Islands. It makes sense, right? Okay, here we go. You can feel the potassium.
It's very sweet and very Canarian style. And do you know what? You can get these Canarian bananas all over Spain, but of course here they're grown, so it's more natural, more fresh.
Right now we are going towards the old town and the center of the city. So everyone, even though Richard and I just got here yesterday, we found one of our favorite streets here in Santa Cruz de Tenerife, which is the capital of Tenerife, and that is Antonio Dominguez Street, which is situated right in the old core of the historical town in Santa Cruz de Tenerife. And right at the end of the street, you are going to find this amazing church, which is called Church of the Conception, which was erected upon the first church built by the Spaniards when they got here in the 1500s.
Did you know the Canary Islands have something in common with all Latin American countries? They became part of the Spanish Empire when Spain started their colonization around the world.
We're on our way to go to Calle del Castillo, which in English is Castle Street. Here you can find all the amazing international restaurants, cafes, bars, everything you want. And this is the main hub for all the tourists that come to Santa Cruz. Right now we are in Candelaria Square, and we are now going to go all the way down Castle Street to get to Vela Square. And this is where the long walk begins.
Castle Street is named for the Castillo Cristobal, built in 1575 and demolished in 1929 to make way for the Spain Square. Castle Street is among the oldest streets in the city of Santa Cruz. Since this place is the heart of the city, you can definitely get many things here before you go back home. It is full of shops and restaurants.
So guys, yesterday we came across this Filipino restaurant, but because in the evening we don't eat that much, we thought, you know what, tomorrow we're going to go and have a nice Filipino lunch. And that's what we're going to do right now.
We had some lovely, delicious, deep-fried breaded pork with rice, salad, and lots of juicy sauce. It reminded us of our time in the Philippines.
So everyone, we just got to Plaza Espana. Like in any Spanish city, you will always find a Plaza Espana. That's like the main square in all the cities, most of the times. And yeah, so it's like in Russia, like if you go to any city, you will always find the typical Park Победы, which means Park of Victory. And you can see some of the cruises that come to Tenerife every year. But I really would like to tell you something more about it.
So just across from Plaza Espana, you can go to the marina and the port, where you see this amazing hub for international cargo ships coming from all over the world. And I'm talking about America, Africa, and Europe. Also, Santa Cruz de Tenerife is like the center for cruise ships that go from Europe to the Caribbean, and they stop right here.
So everyone, I would like to clarify something with all of you. Even though when the Canary Islands are officially part of Spain and they are integrated into the EU, because Spain is an EU member, we are, geographically speaking, in Africa. Even to be more specific, we are 220 kilometers away off the North African coast. And to be even more specific than that, off the coast of Western Sahara. There is another thing I would like to say. There are so many Brits and so many Germans that they come here and they say like, yes, we're going to go to the Caribbean. And it's like, no, because this is the North Atlantic Ocean. And in addition to that, the islands have a semi-tropical weather, which means that they do tend to get a tiny bit cold in the winter season. And that means that it doesn't really matter whether you come in the summer, spring, winter, autumn. It doesn't really matter when you come. You're still gonna get frozen by the cold waters of the North Atlantic Ocean.
I would personally say that Santa Cruz de Tenerife is possibly one of the most underrated cities in Tenerife. Many people say it's a boring port city and there's nothing to do or see, but look at all these lovely buildings, vegetation, shrubs, plants, palm trees. It's amazing.
You know what? No wonder why all the mainlanders in Spain talk about the Canary Islands as if this was like some sort of paradise, and in fact it is. There are so many beautiful parks throughout the city. And it feels like if you were in some sort of like botanical garden, because you see all these exotic plants, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. The name of this park where we are right now is called Prince of Asturias, and it's absolutely beautiful.
So everyone, we've come to the end of the day and we decided to come to García Sanabria Park, which is an incredible place of natural beauty, plants, vegetation and more. You have to come here. This park was inaugurated in 1926 and it's open for everyone who wants to come, free of charge.
Honestly, if you like nature, this is definitely going to be your place in Santa Cruz of Tenerife. There are so many flowers and so many exotic trees. Even though when Santa Cruz of Tenerife is not that big, it still can get you tired because there are so many people and so many cars. But if you came here, it's like if you step into a jungle because it is rather relaxing. This was most definitely the best part of the day. So everyone, today Richard and I really wanted to go to the beach, but as you know, Santa Cruz de Tenerife doesn't have a real beach because it is a port city. You can see massive ships and the marina and all stuff, but you can't really see the open ocean. Therefore, today we are going to go on another adventure. We want to go to San Andres, which is a lovely, beautiful village near Santa Cruz de Tenerife. To be more specific, it is situated 7 kilometers away from here. If you want to go there by bus, you can get bus 910 near San Telmo Church. And by the way, near San Andres you can go to this massive beach that is called Beach Las Teresitas, and they say that they even come from all over the way from Los Cristianos town over here because they say, according to many, that's the best beach on the island. So today we want to verify that. Come with us. So everyone, we finally got to San Andres. We're so excited, and believe it or not, even though you may think, oh, San Andres, you know, it's not that important, well, guess what? This is one of the oldest villages on the whole entire Canary Islands because it was founded in 1498 after the colonization of the Canary Islands by the Spaniards, because the first inhabitants of the whole islands were the Gauchos people.
And to prove that San Andres is actually a really old town, here we can see the remains of the Castillo of San Andres, which was built in 1706, and it was built to protect this island from pirate attacks.
If you come to Tenerife, San Andres should definitely be on your bucket list. This town is not far away from Santa Cruz, and believe me, the reason why you should come here is not just because of its beautiful beach, but also because this town is really charming. We enjoyed our time here.
You know what, I have to say that San Andres is like the quintessential Spanish town that all Brits think of when they think of Spain. However, when you travel around Spain, you'll realize that not all towns are actually like San Andres. But if you do want to see a nice, cozy Spanish town with lovely buildings, the smell of amazing food, come here. So here we are in Las Teresitas Beach. Did you know that the sand here was brought from the Sahara in the 1970s so that tourists could enjoy the lovely golden sand? Many of you are probably wondering, why did they have to bring the sand from the Sahara to Tenerife, which is obviously an island with lots of beaches? The reason for that is because the natural sand here is black because the region is volcanic. People come here from all parts of the island just to come to Las Teresitas.
My advice is, if you want to truly try authentic Canarian food, you have to go to the towns in Tenerife. In our case, we decided to come to an amazing restaurant to have cheese, tuna, bread, and also the papas arrogadas, which were absolutely amazing. And then to top it all, we had seafood.
We've just gone to one of the most important sites, and in my opinion as well, one of the symbols of the city. I'm talking about the auditorium of Santa Cruz of Tenerife, which is called Adam Martin. So if you come to the city, you definitely have to come here because you can see this majestic construction from almost all the sides of the city. And also I would like to mention the fact that I believe that this is very similar to the Opera House in Sydney. What do you think?
It definitely resembles the Sydney Opera House. The style, the concrete, you know, everything about it. This place is actually an opera house. Here there are lots of musical events, exhibitions, concerts, everything you want is right here. Another good reason to come here, maybe not just to see the opera, but if you want to see the open ocean, you can come right here. Since Tenerife, Santa Cruz to be more specific, is a port, it's very hard to see the open ocean. So come to the opera house and you can see the sea from everywhere you stand.
If you decide to visit the auditorium, you cannot forget to visit another site which is nearby the auditorium. I'm talking about St. John the Baptist Castle. It was built in the 1600s, and according to history, it was the second most important fort of defense of Santa Cruz of Tenerife.
And if you are people of culture like us, who appreciate watching fine works of art, then come to the Museum of Fine Art in the center of Santa Cruz. Here you will see fine portraits and sculptures of all different types, and you can marvel at history and culture.
Unfortunately guys, we have come to the end of this beautiful video, and I would like to say goodbye in this lovely beautiful paradise of classical art. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and to give us a thumbs up. And tomorrow we're going to continue our series by going to San Cristobal de la Laguna, which means that we're going to be uploading another video very soon.
By any means, if you have any questions about the places we visited, or you want some recommendations of the places we had lunch or shops we went to, we would be very happy to help you. So please get in touch and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Thank you for watching this vlog, and remember, there are more videos coming soon about this lovely island which is Tenerife. See you next time on a new adventure.